Hi, my name is Imogen from Atelier Méandre, and today we're going to do some kind of classical style podcast, knitting and crochet podcast, but encompassing the first half of 2026, since we're in July and it's been half the year already. And this podcast is going to be my mid-year review of all the projects I worked on. Some of them were gifts, quite a few actually. So I'm gonna post a picture around here, I think, if I framed it right, and show you everything else I have and try to insert worn videos as well. I'm gonna start with finished pieces, and the first two I don't have with me. I'm gonna take my notes. So yeah, the first two I don't have with me. They were gifts. One for the first one I started in 2020 actually, in December I think, or November. Yeah, maybe November, even October. I'm not sure, it's been a while. I got a repetitive strain injury from knitting too much and not doing enough stretching and sport, and also I was starting my job as a costumer at the time, so all of that combined hurt my wrist quite a bit, so I had to stop the project. And it was meant for a baby, as you will see, as I will explain, and the baby grew up. So I wanted to wait for another one to arrive in the family, because I don't want to knit a baby gift without a baby in mind. I want them to be addressed in some way. So I waited, and the first baby got a sibling. So I got it done a bit before the baby was born. If I'm not mistaken, I have my other notes in my beautiful and massive notebook. I completed the project on between the 22nd and the 27th of April actually. I thought it was February, but it was April of this year. So the project, because I'm talking about it, but I'm not saying what it is. It is a little, not really sweater, more of a coat for a baby. And you're gonna have a picture right next to me. And it was a pattern from Butterick from 1890. It's in the Art of Knitting book that's on archive.org. I linked it. I'm gonna link it in the bio. So yeah, I followed the pattern. I forgot a bit about it in the almost 6 years that came and went in between the start and the end of the project. So if you look closely, one of the sleeves hasn't exactly the same stitch pattern as the other. But also the tension is really massively different. I wasn't expecting that at all, but my tension loosened a lot, which might explain the repetitive strain injury actually. So yeah, one of the sleeves is quite bigger than the other, but I don't think it's going to be a problem, because when blocking I try to stretch the smaller one out so that it's the same length as the other, so it varies in width more than anything else, and yeah, I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think the baby's still too small to wear it, and with the temperature we're having right now, it's the third heat wave in France right now. We're on the 9th of July as I'm recording this. It should come out in a few days. The baby won't wear that for a while, I think, and I hope the size is gonna be enough for the baby not to have gone out of it before September, when the baby is gonna be able to wear it when the temperature cool down. So that was the first project of the year, one that started way earlier. And as I like to do, I had another project that I worked on quite at the same time actually. I like to, I'm looking at my notes in my notebook, trying to find the right page for the project. Yeah. So I started the project in March, the other one, so I knitted both at the same time and finished both at the same time as well. I think I blocked them all the same day or something like that. And that was a filet crochet project. I found a chart on Pinterest. I think it's an old curtain pattern. Same thing, I'm gonna link it in the bio. It's a chrysanthemum pattern, and I adapted it a bit to be significantly less wide, to have something more in the portrait mode than in the landscape mode. And it was a gift from my tattoo artist that tattooed me twice, 3 tattoos in total, and was an absolute angel, and I wanted to thank her for everything she did. So yeah, I made that for her, and I gifted it a bit later because she's not in Paris and I live in Paris. So yeah, it was really fun. It was my first filet crochet project, and I'm a bit unsure about the density of the stitches because as you're gonna see on the picture, the pattern isn't that visible, but I'm not sure if it's a light issue, a background issue, because when you hold the tapestry in the air with a direct light on it, you can see the pattern really well. I just didn't photograph it really well. So yeah, that was that. And at the same time, at those 2 projects, because yeah, I'm not a monogamous knitter or crocheter at all. I like to multiply webs and to have a choice in what I can work on. I was working on my first pattern test ever. It was the Helen cardigan by Nosferatu on Instagram. Everything will be linked. The pattern is out. It's been out since June, I think, so a bit less than a month. And it's a really great pattern. So I worked on that. I started it in March, and then stopped it a bit to be ready to be done with both the gifts I talked about before, to finish them before deadline. And then I was able to finish the pattern test a bit in advance actually, so I'm happy about that, and I'm gonna show you it. Up. So here is the Helen cardigan. So it's a really beautiful pattern with some lace, a lace body, and a ribbed body as well, but waist cinching part, I guess. Mine is a bit, how to say it, it has almost negative ease, which wasn't the plan. I tend to knit and crochet a bit too small, so I need to take that into account. It's no fault of the pattern at all, it's the way I measured myself and did the calculations. So yeah, it's a bit too tight, but I discussed with the designer about it, and they told me that it would stretch out with wear. The thing is, I was done with it when the temperature like went up, and I haven't had the chance to wear it lately because it's way too hot and I can't have fabric on my body. Like, yeah, no, that's no fun. So yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that. I did that in between classes. I brought it everywhere with me. It was a really enjoyable pattern. If you try it, I would advise swatching for the ribbing as well, just to get a handle on the technique, because the designer suggests either slip stitch ribbing or the double stitches slip stitch ribbing, and depending on your tension and everything, one might the slip stitch ribbing might be a bit too tight, so yeah, I suggest swatching for it as well, not to have to redo the ribbing multiple times, and I didn't do that, so that's why I'm warning you. Your stitch count at the beginning of the ribbon, because it's done from side to side, it needs to be the same on both sides so that it matches. And so yeah, take into consideration your stitch count and pay attention to it, because I didn't, and I had to fudge a bit with the buttons to hide that, which is completely my fault. Like, the button is really great, like so that was the beginning of my year, and then I worked on another gift, even 3 gifts back to back actually. The first one, I used 3 patterns, 3 color patterns, for a friend. I had that hot pink yarn, boucle yarn, which in hindsight wasn't particularly the better choice because it's a lace pattern for the color, and boucle yarn isn't as defined as what one might wish for a lace pattern, but I think it worked. The only thing is I knit it without being able to measure my friend, so I'm not. He tried it on when I gifted it to him, but it was a bit wide, and the thing is, as the yarn has a lot of acrylic, it didn't block out as I would have wished. So I think I might do some modification on it when I see him next. We'll see. So yeah, I combined 2 patterns together, did my thing with the instructions. I don't have, yeah, I have them. So it was a combination of the Amelia pattern by Erin Ruth and the Victoire pattern by a Knitting Ninja design. Both are patterns from the 2010s, and they're free on Ravelry. I'm gonna link them as well. So yeah, I had fun with the colors between the yarn and the buttons. Like, it was a really contrasty piece and it was fun. Then I worked on 2 crochet projects, gifts as well. But in the meantime, I had some stock to make for my Etsy shop, because I had a creator marketplace to go to in May. So I took a break on the gift making and worked on some chokers, because I sold some and had some more to make. So here they are. I have the first one, which is the Bordeaux, like, red one, which is my favorite, and which is the one which sold. So I made 2 of them, but I could only find one, and they're both the same. And then I experimented with a new color of thread, and I didn't have that much of it, so I made only one side of the pattern. It's something that's not available on my Etsy, that's only in marketplaces, because I won't make more, and making a all new listing for that doesn't, like, it's not, it doesn't work for me. Like, I don't want to do that. But if you're interested, you can always, like, write to me or anything. Like, I can make one custom or sell you this one. Like, you tell me. I'm available via email or DM on Instagram. Yeah, so I experimented with that thread, which is a cotton thread, like an embroidery one, not the floss embroidery thread, but the one that's multiple strands spun together. And I have another one without the picot edges. So yeah, that's I had fun with that. So that was for my marketplace events in May. And when I was done with that, I got back to the gift making. So the first one is awesome. Like, I'm so happy about it. Like, there's a few mistakes because I tend to, when it's not my own design and when I'm making something for the first time, I tend to make mistakes and I don't always correct them. So there's a few mistakes, but I think like the final piece, I found a way to like conceal the mistakes and everything, and I'm really happy with the final piece. It's a pattern by Fiber Figment on Instagram. They make amigurumi. Most of what they make is amigurumi, but also clothes for the character they designed. And they have like such cute and a bit weird and goth, and I love their style. It's really awesome. You can check it out, like it's really great. And one of my friends was gonna turn 30 and at a party to celebrate it, and so I decided to make him one of the plushies, and he loves mushrooms, so I made a mushroom plushie, the one with the cittern, kitten, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I spent a lot of time on it because most of it is, even all of it is crocheted with a 1.5mm crochet hook. So it took quite some time. I used yarn, but like lace weight yarn. Some I even had to hold 2 strands together even while using a 1.5mm hook. So yeah, that was quite time consuming, but it was during the exam period of my final year of my bachelor, and so I found a way to procrastinate, which was quite enjoyable. So I love the pattern. It's really well written, really clear, and the result is awesome. Like I love it. I can't wait like to see it again once I go visiting my friend. It was a really nice piece to make, and I can't even tell you how much time it took. So I started at the beginning of May and finished at the end of May, so it took less than 3 weeks actually. Even took exactly 2 weeks to make, so that's not that long. I just spent a lot of time crocheting, I think. So yeah, that was fun. And then the housewarming party of another friend came along, and I wanted to make a small gift and a silly one because we have that kind of friendship. Followed another free pattern from Ravelry to make coasters. It's called the cat butt coasters, and it's what the pattern implies, cat butts. It's really fun. I used multiple colors and strand together to have the result I wanted, and made 6 coasters. It took around 2 weeks as well. Like I started quite early, then took a break from it, and then finished them in a couple of days. So yeah, that was a fun thing to make. I got a bit confused in the pattern, but I think it's because I didn't read it like with enough attention, which I tend to do sometimes. So I got confused in the stitch count in between the rounds, but on the 4th, 5th and 6th one I found a way to correct that. But maybe if I reread the pattern there wouldn't be any issue. I really think I just read it wrong. So yeah, that was another gift. Then I was a bit late because I enjoyed the first pattern test quite a bit, and as Instagram tends to do, once I interacted with a post with pattern test tagged on it, I got offered some other pattern tests. I even applied to many more, like I think double more as the ones I actually did. And so I got accepted into 2 pattern tests, one that was supposed to end at the beginning of June and the other one at the end of June. the thing is, I had all those events with gifts to make to people. So let's say I knitted and crocheted a lot during the month of June to make up for my tardiness, let's say. So the first pattern test I worked on at that time was the Flutes tee. It's a pattern by Perfedo Knits that you can find on Ravelry, Instagram, TikTok. Same thing as always. I'm gonna link it in the description. So I'm gonna show you the piece because as it had a deadline, it's now done. I even posted it on Instagram already, so maybe you've seen it. And I'm really in love with the finished result, but same thing as with the other one. It's currently too hot to wear, so I'm gonna wait for either the weather to cool down a bit at the end of the month, or I'm gonna wait for fall. We'll see. So here is the tee. I made it quite cropped because two reasons. I didn't have enough yarn to make the full length tee in any case. I miscalculated things and I use second-hand yarns most of the time. Yeah, I use second-hand ones, and the 3 and 4 skins I had were like already used skin, partially used skin, so none of them were the full 50 grams. And the other thing, I wanted a crop tee, but I wanted a less crop tee. And how to say that? I thought I was at the end of the last skin, and I still had some I-cords to make. I even found another kind of thread yarn to use to make the I-cord, the one at the neckline, because I thought I wouldn't have enough. So I stopped after around 40 rounds, which is way less than what is recommended, and I wanted to do like, I think between 5 and 10 more rounds, but I thought I didn't have any more yarn, and then I was looking at things like cleaning up a bit. I think I wanted to get my swatches to put in my notebook to do my final page for the project. And I found another ball of yarn, so I could have made it longer. I might still do it. I just want to wear it a bit before to see if I'm comfortable with the length that it is, and to assess how much longer I want it. So that's still a possibility for later, but with the deadline, the pictures I had to take, the blocking and everything, the best thing was to go ahead and finish it, even though I found another ball. Because at that time, when I found the new ball, I think I was almost done with the TI coat bind off. So yeah, I couldn't. Other things with it, it's a bit dense. I would like it to be a bit more drapey, which it isn't, because I double one of the yarns to have a less see-through fabric, because I was afraid I would have to wear it with something underneath, and I might not have had to. I should have swatched more. Actually, I think that would have been the best solution. So it's a bit less drapey than I would like. At the same time, I wonder, it's cotton, so it might still like loosen a bit with wear. So we'll see once I'm able to wear it a bit. And the last thing, I think I read the instruction too quickly again. I do that way too much, and for pattern test it's really not good. But I think I did my I-cord bind off inside out, so I might redo them. It's not that I think I did, I absolutely did. So I might redo all the I-cord bind-offs later. Maybe not the ones at the neckline, because there's all manipulation involved that the pattern is gonna tell you if you want to buy it. So the neckline bind-off might be a bit too hard to redo, and I think I'm quite satisfied with it actually. It's not the best, but it's good enough. But for the sleeves and the hem, I might redo them later. We'll see if I get the motivation to do them again. So yeah, that's it for the flutes. Here it is again. And it was really nice pattern to make, really enjoyable. Quite long because it's a brush stitch, so you have to knit every round twice, so to say. So it took some time, but it was really like relaxing to do, and once I had the stitch pattern down, which happened quite quickly, I could just knit without thinking, and that was really nice. After that, I started on the next pattern test as well, but I took a little break because Pride was coming up, and last year, in July I think, I started a project for Pride, and 3 years ago I started another one for Pride as well, which I was done with in 2023, I think that was. Let's check. Yeah, 2023. So I was done with it, but then I wore it again and wasn't quite satisfied with it, so I reworked on it. And both those projects are gonna get detailed in another video, so I won't say much more, but I'm gonna show you them. So first there's my Pride shawl. So it's a knitted shawl, which I knitted last year during the summer to be ready for Pride, but I hadn't done the finishing touches before, like 2 days before Pride. So yeah, I got done with that. It's a color changing yarn, a Katia one I think. So I leave the detail in the description as well, because I still need to find a yarn band again. I know I still have it somewhere, but I'm not sure where, so when I find it, I'll add it to the description. And then, which actually I got done yesterday completely, because after wearing it at Pride, I still wanted to do some more things. It's a little bralette, a free pattern from Ravelry again. It's a bit upside down. Up. So yeah, a little bralette, a lesbian one, which I made for Pride 2023, and redid a bit, especially like the sewing of the cups to the band, because they were too far apart. So yeah, I was done with that for Pride, and wanted to secure the junction between the two cups a bit, so I did that yesterday. So that was the Pride break, which I worked on like the day before and the morning of Pride, because I like to do things in advance, maybe. So next, the next pattern test, which is a crochet one for autumnal leaf. It's a crochet vest with some interior designs on it. I'm gonna show it to you right now. I'm really happy about it. So here it is. It's the Urats pattern kit with it's available with the vest, the cardigan and the dress, because Autumnal Leaf also sews and does sewing pattern. It's the cutest thing, the little rat, and the little mouth with the red eye. I love it. So yeah, I tested it, I was on time. As it's crochet, it took a lot less time than the brioche knitting, so I was able to mostly work on it the last 2 weeks before the deadline. And I wasn't on gauge, but that was a pattern test more for the designs, the intarsia designs of the rat and mouth, rather than for the pattern of the vest, which had been tested prior, I think. So she was okay with me like crocheting a size up, even more size up. I think I did a L instead of the XS I was supposed to do at the beginning, but I miscalculated the ease and my swatch, so it came out a bit tighter than I was expecting, which I don't mind. I like the fit, it's a bit cropped, and yeah, it's just I think I should have made another buttonhole, like a 4th one instead of only 3, because it gapes a bit, but that's on me, because I think the patterns call for 2 or 3 buttons, but I didn't even make them where they was supposed to be on the pattern. Like, I did my thing, and I miscalculated the placement of the second one to do 4, so I recalculated it to do 3, and 3 isn't enough. So it's the same thing. I might go back and change it if it bothers me, but as I haven't been able to wear it, there's quite a theme, I think, in this podcast. I haven't been able to wear anything since I finished the first thing for me in June, and since May we're having a really hot weather. So yeah, I'm gonna wear it a bit, see how I feel about it, and see if I go back, which I don't mind doing. Like, I did it for the bralette, I can do it. I might procrastinate it a bit, but I don't mind doing it, so it's still a possibility. I might also change the buttons, because they're classic buttons, like the color changing ones, black and gray, the one you see everywhere, but I have bigger ones in full black. That might be nice, so I'm gonna try that, see what I do. And I wanted to add some accessories to the little pets, not pets, but the little creatures on the pockets. I wanted to make a punk mouth and a goth rat, with chokers and chains and everything. I still might do it. I'm just not completely sure how it's gonna look aesthetically and how I'm gonna be able to wash it with it, which is a problem, because like, it's cotton, I can machine wash it, but if I add accessories I might have to hand wash it, and the problem with cotton is that it absorbs a lot of water, so if I hand wash it I'm gonna have to like, it's not drain the word, I'm gonna have to like express a lot of water by hand, and I can't do that as well as a machine, so it's gonna take ages to dry, and if I wear it during fall and even winter it's never gonna dry, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that. If you have any suggestions, I'd be happy to hear them. I'm really open to listening to your suggestions. In any case, I'm really happy with it. Can't wait to wear it and see how I feel with it in a full outfit. And yeah, that was a fun project as well. We're getting close to the end, I think. Yeah. So next thing I worked on, and that's finished because I have some webs as well that we're gonna get into after that, is my latest collection at All Time is Summer. The first video I did on this channel, so last week one, was about it, so I link it in the card somewhere. I'm new to YouTube, I have no idea in which corner it is, but I link it. So in that video I got into the details of the process and the decision making I went through, and now I'm just gonna show you the different pieces, so you can have a look again, or for the first time, depending on if you wear it last time or not. And yeah, I don't have much more to say about them, like everything is in the video, so check it out if you want. There's 4 accessory type, and for some of them I have like multiple pieces. The first one is a bandana. So here it is. It's the 2 finished ones. I also have the prototype, which is here. It's a knitted bandana. It's with a Nycord tie and lace. I'm really happy about it. I'm gonna make another white one that isn't the prototype for myself, because I want a white bandana. That's why I design bandanas, because I want one for myself. So I'm gonna make a white one. I'm not sure I have white cotton, but that's what I would like to use. So I'm gonna look through my stash and see. Then there's a filet crochet headband with little mice. And a set of choker and bracelets or cuffs. Oof. Choker and the little cuffs. Yeah, and they're matching, like it's the exact same pattern but a bit shorter for the cuffs. And they came out on Thursday the 2nd of July. They're available on my Etsy, and you can, like, it's a made to order, so there's quite a few possibilities, so don't hesitate to check it out. My Etsy will be in the description below. And finally, we're gonna get to the whips. I don't have that many, which not completely true. Like, I'm gonna touch on the whips I worked on this year. I don't have that many more. I might mention them in another video. But I have 3 main whips that I worked on this year, like only 3 ones that are done. But 2 of them are kind of hibernating because I don't have time to work on them. With the pattern tests, with deadlines, with the gifts with deadlines, they weren't my priority, so I haven't like done much on them, but we'll see what they are. The first one is the one that I started in January, like it's the first project of the year. It's a little cardigan, so it's still on the needles, and I'm just gonna make sure the stitch don't fall down, because I used the as I did so much more things since I started it in January, the needles went to another project, even several other projects, I think. So it's a self-drafted cardigan with a lace pattern I found on YouTube. There's a tutorial. It's a bottom-up cardigan, and here is it's a cropped one, quite cropped one, because that's what I wanted, and I'm making it for myself. I wanted it to be quite oversized, but I think I made it too small again. I should put it on the Scooby-Doo thing. I don't know if that's what it's called in English, but the cable thing to try it on. But as there isn't like any shoulder seam or anything to put it on, I'm not sure that would be quite informative. So yeah, it's a little lacy cardigan. I have another one that I bought on Vinted that I really like, and most of my cardigans are grey, so as I wear a lot of cardigan, I was like, I need a black one. So I started on it. I'm making it with coned yarn that I thrifted. It's a really thin yarn, so I'm holding 4 strands together, and it's fully knotted. As you can see, I need to, like, there's a bit of the baby coat in the middle, like I need to get on with it, not get on, but I need to tidy it up. but I haven't worked on it since March, I think, since I started working on those other projects. So it's completely hibernating, and I get back on it one day. I really want it, so I'm gonna get back to it, but I have no plans on as to when that might be. So that was the first project of the year. Then while pattern testing for the Elaine cardigan, I had some times, because I was quite quick, I had a lot of time to crochet, so I could work on another project at the same time. And I started that I think in August, or maybe September, or maybe July, like last summer. And this is the famous cat Afghan, which is an old pattern from a magazine that's free on the Wayback Machine. You can access it through Ravelry, I think. Same thing again in the description. And so I started it last summer. But the thing is, like, one row takes me 1 hour, around 1 hour to make. And at some point I had too many things to do, so I left it on the side in between October and February or March probably. So I didn't work on it at all. During the beginning of the pattern test for Elaine, I worked on some rows. I might have done 4 or 5, but I haven't worked on it since. And in March I actually did some math and found out that to be done with it on the 31st of December 2026, I would have to work on 1 row every other day from March, which I absolutely haven't done. So I might not be done with it this year, but I knew it would be a long time project. Like, I want it to be quite big, not a king size or even queen size bed blanket. Like, it's not it's more of a tapestry for me than a blanket, because I have 2 cats. I foster some other, which currently I foster others. We'll see if that goes on. So I'm probably gonna be on the wall, like, to decorate my flat, because I don't want the cats to damage it. But that's what I have for now. It's really cute. My tension really changed, which I'm not sure why, because it's the same yarn, and not that much time passed between the beginning of the project and now. So maybe I confused and changed crochet hook at some point. I'm not sure, so we'll see how things evolve. But I would like to work on it this summer as well. I thought about it a few days ago, and even yesterday I think I wanted to do some more. But my current whip, which is the last one for this video, is a pattern test again, and I have a deadline, so I don't want to be late for that. So this isn't a priority. But I should make it a priority at some point, because I really would like to have the finished piece someday, so we'll see. Last but not least, my current whip. So as I've said, it's a pattern test again. I love pattern tests. Like, I can't resist them. When there's a call, I'm like, if I like the pattern and if I might have time, because I'm quite busy and it's not always the most reasonable, I apply to them. Is the Vera top from Nosferatu again. It's a really cute wrap top with a bit of ease. I love the silhouette, and I'm working on the beginning of the pattern. The deadline is on the 23rd, which should be plenty of time. The only thing is I don't have enough yarn, because I don't know what happened, but it's thrifted yarn again, and it's supposed to be like 50-gram balls, but the first ball was only 24 grams. So I'm not sure what that was about, since the yarn band, the ball band was still on it. So I ordered some new one, like from the brand. It's not the exact same one, like mine is quite old. The yarn band has changed, everything, but it should like work as a continuous one, especially since it's black. I don't know. I'm not sure, like the dye bath, they might be like quite similar in black and not vary as much as in colors, but I might be completely wrong, so we'll see. But I should like have enough to go up to the shoulders, so maybe if there is a change, since it will be the difference will be like one color in the back and one in the front, that should be okay. So we'll see. I'll tell you next time when I have an update for you. But it's a really enjoyable pattern. It's another lace stitch, which is really enjoyable, really easy to memorize, and I'm having fun with it. So yeah, that's my 2026 so far. I did a lot. Like when I went through my pictures from my phone to prepare for this video, I wasn't expecting to have as much thing to talk about. I wasn't expecting to spend so much time talking about it, because I checked the time code several times already, and I filmed for like more than 50 minutes now, I think. So yeah, that's a busy 2026, and my own designs don't take as much of the time knitting and crocheting as I would like. So like it's a good time to reflect on how the year has been and what change I want to make, and I would like to work on more of my own designs. At the same time, I have a lot of like wants and even needs, like practical pieces that I need, that I want to make, so we'll see what happens. It's already a long video, so I won't go into plans and everything. I don't actually have summer plans, like yeah, I'm gonna work on my current whips, and I might start one or two other projects, but the thing is I want to design a new thing that I might even pattern white for you to come out in fall, or when school starts again. So that's one of the projects I have, but I won't say more. So we'll see what's to come. Thank you so much if you've listened to me at all, and even more if you've listened to me until now. I realize it's been a long one. The recap of 6 months of work, yeah, I should have guessed it would be a long one. I'm really grateful that you give some of your time to listen to me. And I'll see you soon in another one. Bye.